Welcome back to Ardmore, Oklahoma for the Ranch Sorting National Championships. Last week, we worked with 11-year-old Haley. This week, we'll be working with Haley's dad, Jim. Both have been ranch sorting now for 6 months, actually riding for 6 months. It's a great story, so stay tuned, sit back, and hold on for the ride. Okay, now in this episode, we're gonna work with Father Jim, and we're going to talk about and we're going to evaluate the straightness of our horse using our straight line drill. And it's all about creating accountability and finding out where our horse's mind is. Is our horse's mind over here at the barn, or is our horse's mind with us, therefore ready to go in here and compete? So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, evaluate this horse's straightness, where he wants to be, and how he stops and how he backs up. If a horse does not trot straight or move straight, he will not stop straight. If he does not stop straight, he will not turn properly. So it's all about the approach in producing the success of the stop and the turn. And when we're working these cattle, there's a lot of stopping, a lot of turning, and we have to go straight, stop straight, and back straight. If we're prepared to compete, we're going to be able to have more success in the competition arena. Okay. So Jim, what I'd like you to do, there's 2 points here. There's a hinge where the panels meet together here, and where the panels meet together there. I want you to focus your eyes and your hands on that point. As long as your eyes and your hands are focused on that point, then we know that you're not the problem. And that's very important, that you're not the problem. And because most of the time, we're the problem. And so if you're consistent with your eyes and your hands, then we tell our horse, we put our hands down. We use the technique of show me, tell me, let me, observe me, praise my progress, or redirect me, okay? And so we'll show our horse, tell our horse, we'll let our horse, and then we'll observe to see if they drift one way or the other. Then we recorrect them, or we say good job, all right? So why don't you use those 2 points right now. Go ahead and just turn around right now and look at that hinge point right there between the 2 panels. Look and point and ride, okay? Let's see. Good. Now your fingertips are down. Keep your fingertips down and just send your horse forward.
Okay.
Good. You're looking a little bit intoxicated.
A little bit.
But that looks good. Okay. So now turn around. Now let's try it at a jog this way.
Okay.
And keep those fingertips down so that we know. There you go. So your horse tried to drift off to the right, and you had to bring him back to the left, okay? Let's turn around and try that one more time. Trot down there. Good. Your horse is thinking left, and then you bring him back to the right. Good. Good. Okay, so right there, your horse came right here and wanted to go over here.
Correct.
And so you did a great job of bringing him back, okay? Then what you did is you turned him to the left, okay? So we always want to contradict our horse's thoughts. That keeps them from thinking ahead of us, anticipating. We want them to be thinking in the moment, in the now with us, okay? So when he makes that move, we do the exact opposite. So when you get to that point, move to the right, turn, and wait, all right? Let's try jogging that again.
Okay.
Hands down. Not bad, not bad. Good, very good. Pretty nice little turn because you had a pretty nice jog and straight line, okay? Let's try it going this way again. A lot more slack. Okay, pretty decent, pretty decent. Come on and trot this way.
Okay.
All right, so that time he was wanting to lean to the left the whole time.
Yep.
So when you stop, what are you gonna do?
Take him to the right.
Exactly, exactly. And that was the left.
I needed to take him to the right.
I know you.
Oh,
I know you
left-handed.
knew.
I knew exactly
I
what
tell
I
you,
meant.
it just makes a whole difference when somebody's telling you and there's cameras.
Exactly. All right, let's try that back over.
Let's
Should I
try
go
that
back?
one again.
All right,
Let's
Fred,
do a
let's go
mulligan.
back this way. Here we go.
There you
Mulligan.
go.
Okay.
Okay, and go to the right. Good, good. Okay, look and point and drive. There we go, there we go. Very good, very good. Lots of slack right there,
Okay.
lots of slack. Very good. So there you go. Much straighter.
Much
But
straighter.
when you stopped, your horse is anticipating.
He's anticipating a left turn.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So anytime our horse is thinking ahead of us, then they're thinking for us. Therefore, that's never good because we're supposed to be the driver. So evaluate yourself. This is a great way to make sure your horse is straight in their body, physically, but also mentally that they're straight, that they're thinking with you and not ahead of you. Just keep doing it and just use the bounce technique like you're doing, where your horse falls off the straight line, you bring them back and slack.
Okay. Get back in line here.
Yep, get on your line,
Okay.
squeeze with your legs and ride forward with your legs. That was your best one. Good, good, very
That
good.
worked.
Now, to me, I think I saw a really good stop, but I wasn't sure because you didn't get your horse settled. So stop and hesitate and see what your horse does. Does your horse stand 4 feet in concrete? Does your horse walk off? Does your horse turn? You know, but really sit there and say, what is on your mind? If your horse stands there 4 feet in concrete, your horse is thinking about you. Now you're ready to go compete, okay? Come on down here, turn. Let's go right back down there again. The straight line was good, the stop was good. Let's give our horse a little bit more time to process.
Got it.
Okay, little slack, drive forward. Nice, nice. Stop, hesitate. Oh, yep, yep. We got a lot of dancing going on there. You're just gonna contradict what your horse is doing. See, a lot of times what happens when our horse starts anticipating is that it all of a sudden their thought becomes our thought. That horse says, hey, let's go right. And us as riders say, okay, let's go right. And now you're a phenomenal rider for somebody who's only been doing this for like 6 months.
Well, I appreciate
okay?
that. I appreciate that.
This is phenomenal. So, but you are super susceptible to that, to having a horse's thoughts become your thoughts, because you just don't have that ability to lead that horse yet, you know, because you're gaining that experience. So come on down here and do that again. That was the best thing you could have done there, was your horse stopped, jumped, and you contradicted it, and then you sat there and let your horse process and slow its mind down. It's not reacting now, it's starting to think about you, okay?
Right.
Come on down here, let's try it again. Good, now slack and wait. 4 feet in concrete. 4 feet, now your horse, because it's 4 feet in concrete, like we talked with Haley, she plays volleyball. So it's
Yep.
all about getting that athletic stance. You've played sports, you play golf. You know, it's all about that athletic stance, having that base underneath you so that you can use your body to its total efficiency. So 4 feet in concrete is that example of being set up in an athletic position. Now your horse is ready to go any direction it needs to go. It can go forward again, it can turn this way, it can back up. 4 feet in concrete, physically has got your horse prepared, and now mentally your horse is not ahead of you, he's with you. So now that you've fixed your horse mentally and physically, you're ready to go compete. No guarantee you're going to win anything, but now at least you're going to reach the potential of you and your horse at this moment, and you're not going to fight your head as much. And so, anyways, great. Well, are you ready to go ranch sorting?
You better believe it.
You better believe it, huh? You love this, don't you?
It's an adrenaline rush.
Oh man, it is. I love it too. what drew you to horses? What first got you interested in horses? What then drew you to the sport of ranch sorting? Why don't you tell me, Haley?
Well, I was at our barn and I had a paint horse named Reno, and I'd get on her back and I'd look over the fence, and he always had ranch sorting practices, and so one day I went in there and practiced and I just got hooked.
As soon as you started working a cow, it was kind of over with, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't watch anymore, you had to do it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Dad, did she draw you into it then?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the city. I never had horses, never dealt with horses.
Yeah.
And when she begged and pleaded, after a year and a half, we finally got her one. And I saw her, how excited and beaming she came out of the arena with that one. And of course, competitive side, you get a little jealous.
Exactly.
You want to compete with your daughter, and
Yeah.
and it's a family sport. I mean, what better thing that we two can sit here and ride together, build
Exactly.
this bond, and it'll be lifetime memories.
Yeah, well, as a father myself, I can only imagine going on a big road trip like this, having this week together. This is something you guys are both going to remember for the rest of your lives. And yeah, so that's fantastic, and it's an amazing opportunity. And have you met any friends while you're down here?
Some.
Some, yeah. Well, it's there's a lot of good people that do this, and it's really a great way to meet people that share the same interests. I've been associated with RSNC now for about a year and a half, and I've seen the membership grow from a year and a half ago, about 4,000 people, to as of today, the end of June 2011, they've got over 12,000 members, and that's phenomenal growth. I think it speaks volumes for how exciting the sport is, how much people enjoy it, how much they tell their friends about it. They will have over 4,000 teams competing this week at the championships, and they'll be competing for over $500,000 in cash and prizes. It's just amazing to see something that is growing beyond any single person's influence. It's really taken on a life of its own. I've been really excited to be a part of it. Been doing a lot of clinics all across the country as a result of the association. And more than anything, I've had a chance to meet friends and people that share my same likes and desires of working horses and sport and cattle and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity for people to make friends, to participate, to do something with their friends and family. As a family sport, there's so many people here competing and actually using this as their family vacation. So it's a great honor to be a part of this, and if anybody out there is interested in the ranch sorting, please look them up and become a member. All right, Jim, well, you've done a great job of preparing this horse to travel on a straight line. So now you've got his body ready to stop, and you've got the stop in there. Now I'm going to rock him back and back up in a straight line. Whatever we do going forward, we need to go backwards. And then once we travel straight, stop straight, back straight, then we finally get to turn. And so I'm gonna go ahead and work on the backing straight and the turns and let you see what I'm after.
Okay.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna back him up with my reference point. I want him to back up straight. You can see that he's a little bit sticky in his feet, so I'm just gonna keep moving it, backing him up. And you see he's wanting to back up off of that straight line. So there's no point in turning until he can back straight because his body's not balanced. So before I go in and compete, I wanna make sure that I've got that good solid travel straight, stop straight like you did, and then I wanna be able to back straight. I've got my eyes straight forward on my destination where I was heading towards.
Okay.
I'm backing up on that same straight line I traveled in on. Now he's a little bit straighter, so now I can go ahead and turn. Now, when I turn, I've got all the weight of my horse on that hind end.
Right.
So he's able now to either go forward, continue turning, or whatever he needs to do because he's got his power source there. In this direction, I'm going to stop, I'm going to back up. You can see right now I've got no legs, no hands. He's backing up with his hip over there to the left. So I'm going to move his hip back over to this straight line, back him up again. I'm not going to turn until he backs that perfect straight line. When he backs that perfect straight line, then I'm going to turn him, and the turn almost becomes a reward.
Yeah.
Because the backup is not something you see a lot of horses doing, okay? It's kind of hard for them to do, so they need a lot of practice at it, and once they really get it done, then reward them with that nice little turn. And so then they start wanting to turn faster and more efficient, not because we're spurring harder or pulling harder, but because, man, I really like to turn. That always has a good ending to it, okay?
Correct, yeah.
So always back straight, and you've got that good back up, and it's nice and straight. Then you can ask for that roll back, and you've got the hind end underneath you again. Travel straight, stop straight, back straight. Nice little roll back. This horse is getting lighter and lighter each time I do it. Back straight. You notice when he starts backing straight, he gets softer in his face.
Yep.
There we go. That's because his spine is starting to line up. Not because I'm pulling on his face, but just because his spine is lining up, his body is working more efficiently, okay? So everybody thinks that a soft face is about pulling the face down. It's about lining up the spine. Now he's moving his feet nice. He's got a good alignment in his spine. Now I can ask him for a nice little roll back. So now we've evaluated our horse. He's going straight, stopping straight, backing straight, turning nice and correct and softly on his hind end. And so now we're ready to go compete. And the reason that we do this, if you'll help me demonstrate, will you be my cow?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're my cow, all right? Now I just want you to step out there just a little ways. All right, so a cow has a bubble to it, you know, a flight zone, all right? So if you move, go ahead and walk this way. This is how we're supposed to turn with the cow, even with that cow, okay? That's our neutral. Go ahead and stop.
Okay.
You can go back the other way, okay? You can see that my horse is staying the same distance away from you the entire time. Therefore, I'm not affecting your flight zone, okay? I'm not getting in your space, all right? So I have to be able to gauge the space between us so that I can control your mind as the cow, okay? So now walk again, and let's say I turn into you off of that straight line. What do you want to do?
You're gonna kind of
you want
back
to
up.
you want to get out of town, okay?
Yeah.
And so then turn again, and then I'm off my hind end again. I'm even closer to you. So now you're really panicking. You're not thinking, okay? And therefore you become a wild animal because your instincts take over, and so you can't control a wild animal. You know, you can only train them to think and give and take to pressure. And so by being able to manipulate how our horse rocks back on their hocks through the straight line, stopping straight, backing straight, aligning the spine, then we can use our horse's position to manipulate the cow's flight zone, bubble, and essentially their mind. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.